What a blessing it is for people to find you as a resource and decide to come to you and ask you for something because they feel like you are equipped to get it done. That's the mindset y'all need to have for 2026, men. How grateful is it that someone finds you and holds you in such high regard that they know that you are the person to get them out of whatever situation it is?
Why is there always a situation? Why is there always something to be rescued from? Why can't you navigate your own life? And why is there a need to try to gaslight men into being okay with just saving people out of the situation? And it's not like we're children where your situation is maybe $20. No, situations are like rent, car note, car repossession, real issues where you just think with this assumption that men have thousands of dollars just laying in wait available for you to use because you found yourself in some sort of jam, or not found yourself in some sort of jam, put yourself in some sort of jam. We need to go back to a place where we understand that people are adults, men and women. Whatever financial jam you found yourself in outside of specific circumstances or emergencies, that this is largely your making, and it's largely a responsibility. On one hand, you can't claim independence. You can't claim that you're doing so much better. Women are doing so much better than men in all these different fields in terms of education, in terms of starting businesses, in terms of income, but then also be completely fine with making demands of men's money or trying to make men fine with parting with thousands of dollars just because it sounds good, just because it makes your life easier. Especially when there's no sort of reciprocals, no type of quid pro quo. Like you want men to think that their purpose here is simply to provide for every single woman that they come across, that you just meet, and within moments of talking, there's a situation that needs to be solved, or people circling the block and haven't talked to you for months, for years, have a situation that needs to be solved, and you as a man, especially you as someone that has taken the time to make it, and finding yourself in these positions where people frequently come to you, or people have the expectation that because you're doing well, you can solve my problem, and it's a fraction. It would be nothing for you to solve it. It's such a huge thing for me. Not my responsibility. And that has to be a complete understanding. It's not my responsibility to solve your problem. It's your life. I don't have any authority over it. It's your decision making that got you where you are today. Before we continue, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss no uploads. Still trying to do two a day, still going strong, still trying to pay that rent. Speaking of paying that rent, it's not in the sense that I'm talking about. Like, I mean in the sense that everything that we're trying to accomplish today, you pay a rent for. That body, the lifestyle, you pay rent. Every day you've got to do something to pay that. You have to put in that effort. That's payment. In this case, no, we're talking monetary gain. I'm talking monetary African American dollars. I need your money because you're a man. And you need to be comfortable with that. You need to understand that, because there's a this adoption of it's fine for women to be broke, or it's, in fact, we don't call it broke. We just don't. There's no monikers, no label. Women don't often see themselves as broke. They don't really refer to themselves in that sort of light online. Online, I think there's plenty of women that are very, very fiscally responsible, understand their ins and outs, their means and ends, and understand what they can and cannot do. But the conversation online is largely about that you as a man, your sole responsibility is to do for me, period. Regardless of where I am in my life, or regardless of what I have going on, you're supposed to be there to bail me out or to just enhance my life in some sort of way. And if you can't, I'm seconds away to shaming you, insulting you, to trying to guilt you, like we have in this video. You're telling men that the mindset should be, how grateful should you be? Should you be that someone is coming to you and says, "Hey, solve this problem for me"? No, that's not a state of, that's not something we want to be gracious of. Or no, if you we make light of how difficult it is, right? Because we're all under the same sky, right? In the Western Hemisphere, we're all in the same Western civilization, rather, of how difficult it is right now, economically, in terms of you getting ahead or making ends meet. We understand that individually, but when we cast it upon men, we often hear, well, it's it's impossible that men shouldn't be doing well or not doing well. It doesn't matter when you see the statistics. You say, 8% of men are making over six figures. When we see the numbers, or we see a black American making six figures, when you see that number, no one pays attention and realizes how infinitesimal that is. No one pays attention to say, more than likely, I'm in a similar boat to you. But why is there still an expectation that I should be able to go without, ready to sacrifice my bottom dollar just to make your life slightly easier? Unless I owe you that responsibility through fealty to me, then yes, then I'm supposed to take care of you. I'm supposed to make sure your problems are not huge problems, or your problems are not problems at all. We forget that it's a relational thing, and a thing of real intimacy, not a thing of just simply I'd like you to make my life easier. Men today understand this, that often you're not the only one that's having this conversation with her, or the $400-500 she's asking for is not the total sum of what she's asking, of what people are giving out there. You can be one of many, or you could be the sucker fitting the entire bill. The point is, men are paying attention, and understand this sort of, backwards manipulation, this gaslighting, where you want us to feel entitled, or you want us to feel proud that you come to us because you're in a bind. And this is not this. I don't. I can't imagine this being effective on any man that has been awake for the last 5 years. It's You want men to essentially be simps, in the sense that we understand it. Not that this guy, he's such a caring man. No, he's willing to give you without any type of reciprocation. He's willing to give you in order to simply try to buy your affection. And I think when we look at that, that's usually the most reprehensible thing you can kind of be, especially when you see people pandering, trying to make it seem like this is okay, this is normal behavior that men should be engaging in. There's an ick in his stomach when Derek Jackson took the scene. I think men universally that were aware, that paid attention to this, they all had that same queasy, cringy sort of feeling, listen to his content and saying, why can't you see through this? Why can't you see that this is terrible advice, is terrible nonsense? It's the same thing we see, that I feel when I watch something like this, and I hope men see it too, feel the same way as well. You understand this is nonsense. This is utter nonsense. If you want to be the guy, please, by mid next year, tell us how it's going. Tell us if it's been effective. Tell us if it's you solving that problem didn't just lead to you solving more problems. I'd be curious to know. Hands up in the chat if you'd be curious to know as well. If you are, let me know down in the comments below. If you see videos on your screen right now, take a look at those. Let me know what you think about those and those videos, of course. And if you listen to sound my voice at the end of this video and you have subscribed, I think it's time you join the train, because we got to go fight away, pay this rent. I'll see you in the next one.